With this video, we will be doing Joyner Lucas explains why Eminem don't have many close friends. And if you want to help this channel and the content that we making, please help us put our merchandise. The link is in the description. If you didn't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. Try and get the channel to grow. And the only way we're going to do this if you like, share, and comment on the content. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's go. Chi, get the yayo.
Get the yayo.
Continuing on, Joyner Lucas was out promoting his album, and while out, he stopped by the Breakfast Club, and he said something about Eminem, which was very interesting. So I'm gonna play the clip first, and then we'll talk about what he said after.
And I always wonder, like, when you've had people do you dirty in those type of situations, has it made it challenging to form like deep connections with people, being that everybody might have their own hidden agendas?
Yeah, 100%.
Man,
definitely.
It started making me like realize like why niggas like Marshall move a certain way.
Okay.
You feel me? Because like with that niggas, like getting on the phone with him is like you could probably hop on the phone with Barack quicker than you can hop on the phone with Marshall.
That's crazy. He said that you can get Obama on the phone quicker than you can Eminem, but the bigger you get, the more and more you got to move like that. The more and more you start realizing that people have agendas and their own motives. If you bump into them, they might try to sue you. Man, we know Eminem went through a lot of lawsuits, so stuff like that will make you get behind the wall just to stay away from people and all the lawsuits and all the stuff that comes with just being a superstar.
Plus, it gives you the ability to check the temperature.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do I even want to engage in this conversation? Like, is it worth my time?
Yeah.
Like, you're who? Okay, well.
I mean, talk to my sister.
Yeah.
You could probably hop on the phone with Barack quicker than you can hop on.
It remind you of, what's that movie with Denzel Washington when he was a drug dealer?
Training Day.
Nah. New York. When he was in New York and Frank Lucas.
Oh, American Gangster.
Yeah, when he was like, no one talked to me directly. You talk to him.
You call him now. Yeah.
No one talked to me directly. That's what this is.
Yeah.
On the phone with Marshall. That nigga's calling you from a line where his manager's assistant is calling you from a 1-800 number, and then it's just like elevator music, and then it's like, please hold, Marshall's coming to the phone. You can't have his number.
Not that accessible.
Nobody has his number. He's not accessible. You can't talk to him. It's like,
he said you get elevated music.
Yeah. 800 number.
That's wow. You cannot call his number back.
hopping on the phone with the president, right? And it's like, I always wonder, like, why this nigga move like that?
Right.
I had a conversation with him on the shoot of the Lucky You. And I was in his trailer, and I'm like, yeah, man, like, anytime you want to talk or anytime you want to build and, like, whatever, just, you can hit me, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could talk and we could build on his music shit, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, yeah. And it's just like, I could tell he was really, like, real standoffish, you know what I'm saying? And I would ask Royce, like, yo, why is he like that? He's like,
he's saying I was one of them, yeah, but I knew that it was never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? It was just one of those, don't call me, I'm gonna call you type of situations. Facts.
Man, that nigga's just been through a lot of shit. You know, really, like, he's very closed off from people, right? And I'm just like, damn. And I never understood it, right? And it's just like, when I started, experiencing this shit that I was experiencing,
said it makes sense.
I got it instantly. I'm like, this is why this motherfucker don't want to. He don't want new friends. Like, he don't want. You feel me? And it's like, I get it 100%.
And he was the biggest star in the world at one point. So imagine.
He still is.
Yeah.
That nigga ain't got to drop a fucking album. He's still. He can't just be outside.
Yeah.
He's not the nigga that could just be outside like that. He can't just walk the streets of fucking New York. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole thing. He's a big deal. Like,
definitely.
To this day, you know what I mean? And it's like,
that's 100.
He moves like that for a reason, you know what I'm saying? He's not, you could probably, Jay-Z be texting niggas and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, some niggas don't know how to handle trauma and all that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm starting to get into the space now where it's like, I'm starting to understand why these industry niggas move. When I came into the game, like, yo, these niggas are weird. First thing I would say, like, why the fuck these niggas are so weird? But now I see why niggas is weird.
At one point, he looked at niggas like weird, and then now he's like, I gotta go be weird too. Because you gotta be careful with how you moving these days. You can't really trust people. Everyone's out to get you. Females trying to trap you, guys trying to set you up, people trying to sabotage you, people trying to sue you. It's just a lot that goes on with that.
Well, it's like, you know what I mean? Everybody leans to their own level of understanding.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So until you reach a certain plateau, you're not going to understand that.
Yeah.
But when you do, it all makes sense.
It definitely makes sense.
You got to have boundaries.
Yeah, 100%.
That was interesting. That was something that like nobody ever says, and you know, I understand. So when I was talking with Benzino, when I did the interview with Benzino, we were kind of talking about how Eminem never really goes out, never really shows up to area.
That's dope. He did an interview with Benzino. We did an interview with Benzino. If you're new to the channel, definitely check out that interview.
That's a good one.
And stuff. And it never really registered in my mind at the level of fame Eminem is at, the level of success.
I know.
Like, we don't... The reason why it doesn't really enter our mind, even Charlemagne, he said, was one of the biggest. He still is.
Yeah.
And it doesn't enter our mind that he still is because he doesn't tour. He doesn't really go out. So it's hard to gauge if he still is, which is a...
It's like, I can understand why he's saying that. We didn't know until we started reacting to Eminem, and then we realized he's still just as big as he's ever was. So if you're not reacting or dealing with the music, I can see why you would have that perspective that he's still not the biggest on the planet. But because we react to Eminem, time he said that he's still the biggest on the planet. We said it too. We was like, still, like, 'cause we know the impact he's having right now in 2024.
We see every day. In the comment section, them stands is real.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, speaking of stands, he just put something out today.
Yeah, you showed me.
Where he about to do a documentary on stands, and he was like, "Share it." I went back. It was like nobody's seen. I went back. It's crazy.
Yeah, the numbers is crazy.
It's like
people want to be in a documentary, a stand documentary. I'm pretty sure a lot of people want to be in that.
Yeah.
Dumb kind of thing to say because you're thinking, hey, you know, this guy's the best-selling hip hop artist. Period.
Yeah.
At one point.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't
2 million a week. You know, like at that level, only select few human beings ever experienced that. Eminem was one of them. So it makes sense that he's so distant from everybody because he attracts way too much.
Yeah.
If you were to go out, like Joyner's saying, I remember he did a 60 Minutes interview and they literally had to like set up barricades. You know, they did a scene where Anderson Cooper and Eminem are walking.
Yeah. Back
when Anderson Cooper was on 60 Minutes. And they were walking, and I think they had a behind-the-scenes clip where there was like, it looked like they were walking in a normal like area, like just a regular, you know, neighborhood. They're walking down the sidewalk.
Right.
But when the cameras behind the scenes looked out, it was a bunch of barricades blocking people because word got out so quickly. Eminem is here that it's like Michael Jackson levels.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Jackson at any point, if you ever tried to go out, that's why Michael Jackson had this like little experiment that he did. It was a funny one where they created a fake grocery store for him.
Michael Jackson would come out with like masks and stuff on, and how do you say it, with the skin on, the fake, like you would from a movie set like Thriller. He would really come in disguise just to be creeping. A normal person. Yeah.
But there was no such thing as creeping.
Yeah.
Like every childhood memory I have of seeing Michael Jackson pull up anywhere, you couldn't see the sidewalk.
Yeah, it'd be like sometimes it'd be an old man, like just to live a normal life. It's crazy what they gotta go through.
There's a lot.
Let him have the experience of grocery store shopping. Like literally, he's never had that experience.
That's crazy.
Because he's been famous his whole life.
Yeah.
So they created a fake. Well, it wasn't a fake. It was a real grocery store, but it was shut down, and everybody in the grocery store was in on the joke that Michael Jackson was just trying to have a normal grocery store experience.
That's crazy.
So like a lot of his friends were pretending to be customers.
That's like stuff we take for granted. You know what I'm saying? Just going to the grocery store, being able just to chill on your own peacefully, just go to the basketball court and not be mobbed. But when you're on this level, you never really get to experience that again.
Bro, that's a whole nother level of I want to be normal and I can't. That's like Truman Show level.
Yeah, you almost becoming being a box.
We gotta make a fake world so you can have a normal life. That's crazy.
That's crazy. I never heard of that story, but that's a crazy story.
And he would just, you know, push his cart, get some stuff, like pretend like I have a normal experience. At that level, not only do you deal with a lot of bullshit with people, but you basically alienate yourself because of how big you are. You don't get to experience things at a normal level anymore. And it's unfortunate. It does affect your psyche. You know, he's probably, like Roy said, he's been through a lot of trauma with a lot of people. Doesn't trust a lot of people. So to get his number and to be access to him directly is only a select short list of people.
Dr. Dre.
I'm sure it's Denon Porter, Royce, 50, Dre. I don't know, his daughter, obviously. But that's it. Like family members and outside of family members, it's probably
Dre
just those 4, 5, 6 people. That's it.
Yeah.
He definitely doesn't want no new friends at all. I'm sure because he doesn't want to deal with any of that stuff. And at that age too, you're set in your ways and you're good.
Just want peace.
So it was interesting to mention Jay-Z, how Jay-Z texts people and stuff, but Eminem, and I'm sure that's not even Jay-Z's real number.
That's a great point, man. At a certain point in your life, you are set in your ways. Yeah. You know what you like. You know what you need around you. You know what type of energy you feed off of, and you know what to stay away from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
you can read the room a little bit better.
It makes it easier to seclude yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And then you can just stay in a peaceful place.
That's what we all trying to do, just be in peace.
I'm sure that's like an extra number that he has, hanging around that he just texts random people from. So, Eminem at that level, man, to experience that level of fame definitely will change somebody. I mean, it alienates you because you can't do normal things anymore.
Facts.
So it's a blessing and a curse. The blessing is you're literally the best and the biggest at what you're doing, but then that causes effects of you not being able to live such a normal life anymore. Yeah. And that translates to your kids. Once your kids become older, and obviously Eminem has mentioned Haley a lot, so Haley's got her own level of fame that people recognize her, I'm pretty sure, in areas and say, oh my God, it's Eminem's daughter. So yeah, man, it was really, really interesting perspective from Joyner Lucas, and I'm glad that he talked about that because that kind of just made me look at things differently, especially when me and Benzino were talking about how Eminem really isn't out there. Outside. It makes sense, man.
And you gotta respect that little glimpse of reality from Joyner Lucas. That was dope that he did that, because a lot of times people don't even speak on those things. They don't have to. Yeah. Like, you'll have no idea unless somebody say it. But it's definitely interesting to hear that even him having to go through so much just to get a moment. And then even from his own words, it's like, man, I got that moment and I wanted another moment, and I felt like that's not going to happen.
Nah, it's not going to happen at all. Straight TV. Let's get it.
Mark Wilson here, representing Ghetto Action News Network _ all lowercases.
No spaces.
Find us on Facebook. When you do, follow the page, like the page, share something, comment, and come back. I'm going to get right into this. Joyner Lucas explaining why Eminem seems to be such a recluse. Yeah. You know what I mean? Stay to himself. Don't really want to be bothered. And when you hear him break it down, it makes sense.
It definitely does.
It sounds like life was life, and he gave a lot of trust out there. He got burnt a couple times and said never again.
That's all it takes.
You know what I'm saying? And he kept the people who was close to him around him, and that was good enough. Right. You know what I'm saying? He got his happy place and his happy space, and I think it was dope how he even explained how he tried to get close to him, and you know what I'm saying? Only but so close, you know what I mean? Yeah. But now that he said he reached his certain level, he sees it more and it makes more sense.
It makes a lot more sense.
And I think that was dope, since the expression, him telling us how he felt about that, because he didn't have to. But it's a lot of artists out there who need to know stuff like that, because people always trying to break down doors and make pathways, but to be able to know, like, all right, there's something here, and all right, I'm gonna leave that alone.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I think it was dope. What you think?
I think it was a great interview, great way that he pointed that out, because a lot of people just think that Eminem be in the house really for no reason, but he's in the house for a lot of reasons. And in today's day and age, that's just the best way to be safe. You feel what I'm saying? You don't know what people's agendas are, and people have their own motives and agendas on why they want to be around you, and you don't really know until sometimes you find out when it's too late. And it's glad that he's experienced some of that, because I think everyone is just their life experiences, and Eminem the way he is because of his life experiences, and now he's becoming the way that he's becoming because of life experiences that he didn't experience when he first came in the game. He said he thought people was acting weird, and now he's saying, I'm going to start acting weird, because that's just the best way to move around. Yeah, best and safest way to move around the industry. Can't wait to do more Eminem. Can't wait to do more Joyner Lucas. But until then, it's your boy Trey TV, and I'm out.